Hey, wonder what's in this fine looking speed rig holster here. Oh, nice. Oh. Oh, interesting. Whoa, what a double action that is. I wonder who did the action job on that revolver. Nagant 1895 revolver. Let's just go ahead and show you how you unload the crazy thing. So we have an ejector rod here. This actually serves as it helps stabilize the cylinder. You know, when you pull it out, you give it about a half turn there and pull it out. And then this swivels. Oh, look at that. Sam Colt would be jealous, wouldn't he? And you eject it a little bit like a Colt single action. And you pull this back. And you hope you're not on horseback and in a hurry. Pull that back. There you go. Unfortunately, spring technology wasn't around, at least in Mother Russia, right? Let's pull this back out. Boy, too bad. Sam Colt had not come up with his great ideas for the Colt single action before this gun was invented. Oh, no, wait a minute. It was, wasn't it? 1873? 1895? Wonder where the Russians were all that time. I guess they were over there not keeping up with what was going on in this country. They must not have seen all the great Western movies, right? So anyway, that's how that works. All joking aside, you swing that around, get it lined up, and that serves as your ejector rod as well, okay? So, pretty interesting. Now you swing it over here, and get it right there, and you pull the base pin out, and you can take the cylinder out, of all things. Isn't that cute? Now, isn't that a fine piece of workmanship? Those nice screws. Again, Sam Colt would be jealous of that, wouldn't he? For those of you who have handled and fondled a nice Colt single action, and I know you've seen them here on this table, haven't you? A little different from this baby. But now this, well, the Colt single action was a military pistol actually, so is this one. But this one apparently got the job done, and it worked. And that's always the most important thing with a military, weapon of any kind. It has to work, be reliable, and be durable, doesn't it? So there it is. Now you've got a spring loaded. Look at this. See, that's an important component there. I'm going to show you how this thing works. This is a gas seal revolver. And that's one reason a lot of people have asked me about it. They've read about it, maybe never have actually seen one, and wanted to see how it works. You notice I can't get that cylinder unless I push that in, okay? And it's not a swing out cylinder. This is not a Smith & Wesson. It's a kind of like a single action. There we go. I mean, it's really not a big problem. I've had that out a few times. And then we put the base pin back in here. And I don't have that lined up. I say it's not a problem, it hasn't been, but get him in there and the base pin back in. The thing about this gun, I noticed that unless you know more about it than I do, there doesn't seem to be a half cock or anything that you have to use. Like with a Colt single action, you put it on half cock when you're doing any of this stuff, and that's how it's meant to be used. So, get this. It waited for the video to start to be giving me. There we go. Just line it up. Okay. Could be that. No, firing pin. There we go. I think that's got it. Okay. It hasn't been that big a deal. Okay. So that's back in. You swivel that down, and go in there. Give it a half turn, and we're back in business. And this exquisite loading gate. Close that up. Okay. Now, notice the cylinder. It's double action. When you pull the trigger, it doesn't just turn it; it pushes forward. Notice that the last step, and it seals it. Okay. And you see the cartridges when it's loaded. It pushes that into the forcing cone up here, the barrel, and so you don't get the normal gas that you get escaping between the forcing cone and cylinder face that you do with almost every other revolver on the planet. See, because it moves it up into position, not only up close to the forcing cone, it goes into the forcing cone. And we'll take a look at that, a close look, when I reload it and shoot it. Okay, and the again, this is a double action, so it will fire either way. I can cock it and fire it, or just do all that with the trigger. Now, that's what I was doing there, and that's one reason I was missing. I didn't get too many hits out of those 7 shots. It's a 7-shot. It's an incredible trigger because you're doing a lot of stuff there. It's probably about a 20-pound trigger. You're turning that cylinder, pushing it forward, and all that at one time. It's doable though. Okay, so let's load it up here. Take another look at it. This was designed and developed by Leon Nagans. You know, he was a Belgian industrialist, and you might have heard the name Nagans, right? The Mosin Nagant. We got those out on the table. We, just as a reminder, these good old Russian firearms. And this cartridge, by the way, one reason I wanted to get those out, other than just for props, was they designed this, chambered it for the exact same diameter bullet, just for convenience sake. So it's 7.62, it's exactly the same as this. And just, you know, in terms of tooling and rifling barrels and everything, they just did that for, you know, expediency's sake. So that'd be interesting. A much different cartridge, of course, that the rifle takes, but same diameter bullet. Okay, so it's basically a 30 caliber, right? Now what we'll do here is I'll take a couple more shots, and we'll give you a look at that cylinder and how it closes up. What I'll do a single action so we won't fire it. This is a weird little revolver. Now you don't have to put it on half cock, and you can actually turn the cylinder. Notice how the ends of those cases are protruding out the front of the cylinder. How weird is that? It looks like they're empty, doesn't it, from a side view there. So let me go ahead and cock it. I've got it pointing down in range. And bring it up there, and notice what it does. Now I'll put my thumb here in the way. So right now you have that case sticking into the forcing cone from the cylinder, right? So it seals the gas, and as that cartridge fires, the brass expands, and so it seals, you know, even better. So you get virtually no gas escape there, and that's one reason this is the one revolver maybe on the planet that you might see a suppressor on it, and it would not be cartoonish. You know, it would actually work. In fact, I understand the Soviet troops during World War II, there were some scout troops that actually had suppressors on these revolvers. About anything else you see in the movies with a suppressor, you know, screwed onto the end of a revolver, it's bogus. You know, half the time it's a Smith & Wesson Model 19 or something, who knows what. You know, it's Hollywood, but not with this one. This is a very unique revolver. Yeah, that's not too far off. I don't know. Try the cowboy again. I'll try and hold about the middle of him. Hey, can't argue with that. I think the sight's not too bad now. Let's try 2-liter there. Okay. Let's try that white target. That's a new one. Oh, only the 2-liter got away. I see a flower pot right here though. I'll pop him.